God. Ugh. Ugh. Hair's terrible. It's so bad. Alright. Toronto, Texas. Gotta go in here. All right, and I gotta start the event now. Start event. All right. Cool. We're doing it. Hi. What's up? Sorry, I had to set everything up. Good to see ya. Thanks for being here this morning. I know I'm a little bit late. I said I'd be here at 10. I woke up, realized all the things I needed to do, and wanted to take care of a lot of it. So it has been a great week of just, I don't know. It's like, it's the week where things start to get real for PL7 in the season, and there's so much to take care of, but that's kind of where I feel alive a bit, is getting things done, and it's very satisfying. It's good busy. What's Everstall? Sparks, good to see both of you. Thanks for tuning in. This is really funny. You guys are gonna hear the podcast around like 5 or 6 today. It's coming out with ODC. I'm recording actually this afternoon. We pushed it back. So I put out the Andrew Triggs interview this morning, which I thought was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I need to make sure, actually, pretty sure I didn't do something stupid. I'm anxiety ridden, so you know how it is. I want to make sure that I didn't do the thing that I didn't want to do. There's like a 20-minute, not 20-minute, God, like a 20-second moment that I thought I edited out, but then like I was, sleeping. I was like, huh, did I actually edit that out? I mean, it's just a quick pause. It's nothing crazy. Just want to make sure I did.
High school, obviously, to the majors at bat.
So, I don't know if it was the best one, but for that game,
yeah, I think it did.
Go into a little bit is
those were good breaking balls, but no one sticks out from that outing.
all right. We've talked a lot.
Good. I did it. No anxiety. No anxiety. It's gone. Get out of here. All right. I destroyed. Remember next time you have anxiety, how wrong you were the previous time. It helps so much. So much. I don't want this. I want, actually, no, don't do that. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Shane Mclanahan. And also something I won't show you guys. Actually, I should probably take a moment first. Remember I kept saying that my wonderful friends, the people who have made projections for me, are going to update it with all of the signings. Guess what? They did. Look at it! They did it! Look at the free agents now. If I go to team. Yeah, sort. FA, Tyler Anderson, Zach Davies. These guys, they are free agents. That's why they're FA. So, that's awesome. What we're probably going to do right now, actually, I am going to take the time to go through and double check everything in this stream. This is hopefully a very productive one. If I don't get through these guys now, I will be back later today. Probably around 6 is my guess. Something like that. My schedule for today is this stream, then I have about an hour or 45 minutes to get some lunch. Then I have meetings until 2:30, when then I got to record with Fast. Then I got to get that up. And then I have to do a lot of PitchCon stuff for about like an hour. And then after that, then I'll probably jump back into this because I won't get this stuff done. Then and then I'll probably eat some dinner and take it easy. That's my day, and I'm excited. That sounds like such a great day. Oh, so much productivity, so many things moving forward. Sounds like you're slacking, Nick. Yeah. I gotta wake up earlier, man. It's so easy to get lost in the delirium of sleep of like, this is the greatest thing ever, sleep. I want to keep doing that. Hey, Nick, can you please touch on how often you expect Baz and McClanahan to go 6 innings? Not very often. I think we're going to see more of it this year from McClanahan than we did last year, but I think Baz is going to get the McClanahan treatment. So I think we're going to see a lot of 5-inning starts from Baz this year when he comes up, because I don't even expect he comes up in the majors to start the year. So what I want to do, though, NA. So this is, oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. So we have MLB IDs now, which is fantastic.
What? Dang, look at you.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for the follow, a kid named Cuddy. There is actually a story. I don't know if I've said it before. If you guys have heard it. What's up, Paul? I actually sold my guitar and lots of gear to Kid Cudi back in 2010 when I worked at Guitar Center. The best part of that story, I didn't know who Kid Cudi was at the time. So I called him Scott Miss Cootie. It was pretty bad. I also sold him like not the things I would sell him now at all. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I want to do this. No, I want to do this. Yes. Okay. Everything but the Alec Manoa. So actually, let's copy this out. And then paste this in. This is not the same stuff as this, right? So you gotta reconstruct. So they did some cool things for me. What the heck? Oh, they're only giving me certain columns, I think. All right, so I'm gonna unhide for a second. Unhide. Yeah. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Cool. So now I do this. This should be exact. far. Oh, they gave me some new things. Right. They added wins and losses for me, which is pretty dope. So I'm going to have to figure that out quickly. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. So this is ERA. This is wins and losses. This is win percentage. Love that. Oh man. Okay, so there's so much here. Like a lot. So we're gonna go all the way down here. I mean, how many? Where do they have it? They have it go to U. To U. But we're only gonna go to T, right? Okay. So removing these. Where's whip? Did you get rid of whip? Why'd you get rid of whip? Guys, there's no whip. There's no. I gotta talk to them again. I need strikeout percentage and I need walk percentage and. All right, well, we'll do the old method for now. And then, okay. What? Wait, what? Oh, I'm being really dumb. Okay. Sorry, lots of coordinating. This is what my world is now. It's just so many messages back and forth. Okay. All right, we are going to be doing the Rays, the Jays, the Rangers, and the Nationals. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers I can get those out by 12:15 today. I gotta report back. Is there anything else that's missing here? No, right? Innings pitch was in there, right? Just want to kind of see. Innings pitch is here. Game started is here. Shutouts, complete games. No quality starts. Okay. Is that the sole reason Kid Cudi went in that rock? I think that's when he started to do it. Paul was like, in Ohio. No, I sold to him in Union Square in a Guitar Center there, in New York. But no, he was going through it, and he actually went on Letterman later that week, and did not play the guitar I sold him, because I sold him actually like an abnormal one that was more expensive, because I was just taught to like upsell and stuff. If I like known what I was doing and who he was, I'd be like, dude, no, don't get that weird one. Get like the real deal that you'll feel like, yeah, I got a real American Strat. Like this is a legit Strat, you know? Yeah, it was I think July or August. I think it was July of 2010 he came in. It's a whole thing. I'll tell the story another time. It's pretty funny. There's all these like mishaps and everything that go on with it. Anyway, okay, we're gonna do this as quickly as I can because we don't have much time. So, Mclanahan is really, really hard to judge. Why? Multiple reasons. First, strike rate is really high on his fastball, but got clobbered. And this is the biggest question mark I have is, are you going to get better with your command of your fastball? It was not good last year. I do wonder if by the end he was throwing softer than 96, but he had days of 94 at times. Wow, actually really consistent at 96. Never mind, I take it back. 94.5. This is what I was remembering. Is that he would have these. You remember July 2010? Well, it's just because it was like, I remember it was early in my Guitar Center career, and I started it in like the middle of June. And then it was within like the first month or two that he came in. So I think it was July. But yeah, and that was there for 11 months. I couldn't tell you after that, like, you know. Anyway. So fastball gets a lot of strikes, which is great, but it's just, come on, man. Just lower this. Sliders get actually a good amount of strikes, 66. That was higher than I expected. And look at that batting average allowed, fantastically low. 70% on the curveball and 200 again. And this is really good, right? Throw this stuff more. And he's only at 41% on the four seam, which I think is actually a good amount. So this makes me kind of encouraged about Mclanahan, being like, wait a second. This is a number that theoretically could get better. There's a lot of excitement here. You know, this could go well. Oh my lord, I'm getting pinged so much right now. We gotta slow this down. Okay. Okay, so coming back to this. So the question is, how much of the usage of the curveball and slider does he change it? It doesn't really change it that much. I mean, this is 20%, 21%. But he's still, I mean, this is a sub 40%, which is nice, but it's still always sub 50 anyway. Then the question becomes, how many innings is he going to get? Only 123 last year. I think the Rays are going to let him loose a good amount. They'll probably still limit him at most 180. 161, I think, is a really nice projection. 27 starts. That sounds great. I think they really nailed that one. Strikeout rate. 27% does not seem abnormal to me. I think 25.9 is fine. It's a little conservative if you ask me, but you know what? I'm going to just leave it because projection stuff. Same with walk rate. That seems good. ERA at 3.69. Honestly good. The whip is the one I think is wrong. And I think this is going to be more of like a 121. But this is Shane Mcclanahan to me. I am going to actually push this up to 26.8. And that's that, you know. How does it get better? The fastball. It's just command, and command is something that can come over time. You know, it's something that I mean, this is one of my favorite gifts. It's so crazy. I can watch this a million times. I have already. But it's just something that with more time on the hill, like, he will get better, you know. Shane's Mclanahan? Did I say Shane's? I won't put it past me. But all right, that's essentially the story of Shane Mcclanahan to me. And I think people forget too the incredible run he was on of just 6-6-6-6-7, right? Like, he was allowed to go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He had 5 games of at least 6 innings pitched, which is really good. And then the Rays were like, okay, we're making the playoffs. You are going to stop in September. We're limiting you at 5. He had 6 in the end of August, right? Cruised through Baltimore. They were winning this game probably by like a ton. And they're like, all right, we're going to pull you, you know? Oh, Shane's, is that right? Oh, that's funny. Why is that? That's really funny. That's some error from not us. That's incredible. Like, this is just automated. So like, someone not with us messed that up. Is X stats? Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. But I think something that we've talked about a lot here is the changes per season. Like, you see a 311. Rarely is it going to be a 311 next year. And with it being high like that, normally what happens next is it comes down, right? Especially with a younger guy, development happens. They get better. They improve. You know, they figure out how, like, their approach is easier. It's not just, you know, let it rip kind of stuff. So I would feel pretty good about this fastball getting better. So I keep going back and forth about Mclanahan. I watched that one start. His command wasn't great. But Wheeler in the 7th, my God, no. Sandy in, my God, no. Ray in the 25th, no. Yeah, no. You're keeping those guys that you just listed instead of Shane, without a doubt. All right, let's go next to Ryan Yarbrough, the Friday Pirate. Corey Kluber is here now, so when I hopefully get a new version of the CSV before tonight, I mean, I really need it by tonight, because then I can do the free agent stuff. And then, so we'll add that one. The one that probably gets limited, it's either one of these two, I think. It could be Boz out of the gate, though, and that's actually what this is saying. So I need to assess these anyway. Shane Boz, no. How many starts did Mclanahan get last year? Because that's how many I think he's going to get this year. 25. 25. But he's going to be limited to like 140, I'm going to say. Hey, what's up, Mingo? Good to see you. This is fine. Yeah. This is good. I think the strikeout rate's going to be higher. But yeah, otherwise we're good here. Shane Boz. There's not much to show you with Boz. No. I'm not, gamers. I'm not worried that Mcclanahan will get limited by the Rays or use a follower so he misses out on wins. Nope. Not a concern. I think the Rays, when you look at their rotation, Mcclanahan is not the one that gets the follower. You can't do a follower every day. You just can't. Because you need... First of all, the same guy can't do it every day. Right? So you got to change who that is. Second, you got to trust the follower. You know, you can't just have some rando do that because then you just ruin the game in the first inning. And third, you do a follower when you don't have proper starters, right? You do that for like Michael Wacha or Ryan Yarbrough or something like that. You don't do it for Shane Mcclanahan. Mclanahan is the guy like you're like, no, you give him the ball. This is his game. Go ahead. Same with Corey Kluber. So Patino might get follows, but that would actually help his win chances. You know, it wouldn't hurt them. But Shane Mack, yeah, he's definitely an SP1. There's no, I mean, Teller Glasnow is not going to be pitching for a while. July maybe with him. Make sure you add that, Nick. Missing SP. Tyler Glasnow. We can, if you want, look at him really quickly. But anyway, I'm going to move on to Shane Boz here. Fastball is really good. It's much better than Mcclanahan's. Velocity is better, but also the way he uses it and commands it is better. And that resulted in good stuff. That's going to be the thing. I love this confidence in the slider. I think this is a really high strike rate and a really low batting average allowed that's not going to be replicated. I still think it's a really good pitch, but it's not this good command, right? We're not going to see a 26% swing strike rate on it. Curveball is these are the works in progress. I remember so many times seeing him throw a curveball and I just got upset. Being, pretty much saying like, don't do the curveball, do the slider instead. I know the CSWs are nice, but it's inconsistent is the problem. This is a sure sign of like when he executed, it's great, but it's not executed as often as you want. Actually, I think a really good example of this is Tyler Glasnow. Oh, actually, I'm really curious what the strike rate is on his breakers. So 61%, exactly. Yes, nailed it. Yeah, so it's something that is filthy when it works, right? People can't hit it, they can't touch it, but you got to throw it for a strike more often, right? So he introduced a slider, which I was hoping was going to be that, but that's the same problem. And like, Nick, there's no problem here. Look at this. Like, I understand. I get it. because this thing is just so impossible to hit. Like, and the fact that he was able to get a 70% strike rate on it is so good this year. Let's look at previous years of this, though. You can see that he's always had a problem with the secondary pitch getting strikes. That's always been the thing. So the fastball became everything, and sometimes he got hurt, you know? And that was always the issue with Tyler Glasnow. It's just this kind of sink or swim. But, man, if he can... one day he's going to have a 65% strike rate on a breaking ball. And he's going to maintain these, and all of a sudden it's like for a full year instead of half of one. But yeah, I know it's kind of crazy. I'm just really emphasizing to y'all like strike rate, the importance of that. But it's what I've certainly learned because this wasn't available. Literally, this stat on an individual pitch is nowhere else on the internet. And it's like the most valuable one. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me that like we don't talk about this enough. I'm willing to even tell you like this is one of the most valuable stats you will find on a single pitch is just what is their strike rate on it. Like it's everything you expect. You guys have been coming to these streams enough to know that a sub 60% strike rate on a pitch is bad. Like I don't need to show you any proof. I don't need to show you any table or chart to show you like strike percentage and correlation with success or something. You guys know it now. Every pitch that we've always considered as not good is having this, you know? Right? We need to it's strike percentage. This is going to be, I'm telling you right now, we're going to do an article on it. And yeah, swinging or called. No, it's just strike percentage takes all of them, you know, CSW, but then also balls in play and foul balls, right? Those are the four outcomes of a strike. Either it's swung on and missed, swung on and fouled, swung on and put into play, or not swung at and call it as a strike. So CSW ignores in play and foul balls. Strike percentage includes those. What's really important is to recognize that you need the foul balls and you need the balls in play to showcase that it's an effective thing often. So like you can actually see it. If you just hover over anything, we have a tooltip definition for every single stat on the page. Actually, and Jeremy Siegel has done an amazing job of taking everything on our pages and everything that's going to be on the new ones too, and made a document and made an article that is just every stat defined in clear language with any formula involved with it and references to any major articles about it. So literally, like, no more confusion ever again. If you go to a stat page and you just go, I don't understand any of this, I don't get it, it's going to be at the bottom of the pages, just like a simple thing that says, hey, have a, you know, I don't know exactly the copy I'm going to use yet, but like, don't understand the stat, this is where you go, right? It's going to just be Control F if you find it. So look, called strikes plus whiffs, those are total pitches. Swings plus called strikes. So it's the same thing. So like swings, and a whiff is a whiff, but that, you know, swings include balls in play and outs. Sound good? Cool. If it's a swing, it's automatically a strike, right? And then if it's not, then it has to be a called strike. Okay. So I've spent too much time already. As I said, I need to do that or not. Yeah, guys, we are doing everything we can to make like the best player page to look up this stuff out there. We're doing our best. We want to make all this stuff easy. You know, Fangraphs is going to do what they do super well. Like, we're not going to, you know, their historic data, their outlines of all the things that you kind of know, we're not going to beat that. Savant is going to have the absolute intricate, you know, search stuff with a magnifying glass and like everything like the dump truck. We're not going to beat that. You know, Baseball Reference is going to be everything about from like awards, all of that stuff. We're not going to beat that. We are going to be the one that says, hey, you want to get into this stuff and you want it to be made easy, like, and straightforward, and what you actually need and what's important. Yeah, that's us. You know? You want to be like, you want to get into this stuff without dealing with like all of that, and you don't really, you know, there's all this stuff coming at you. Like, we are your home. Trust me. It's based on swings. Well, no, it's not based on swings. It's based on swings and called strikes. I mean, it's just a strike. Anytime that would be classified as a strike, a swing contains the 3 other versions of strikes. Yeah, to achieve it is my real test. To train y'all is my cause. To teach them is my real test. To train y'all is my cause, or whatever. I'm gonna keep moving on. PL's value proposition. Ha! There is something we are developing that we call PLV. Funny enough, but it's not value. Well, the V is value, but the PL is not pitcher list. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. Ryan Yarbrough. And the salad. Pokemon luxury value. Yeah, that's it. Pitch location value. That's a good guess. Okay. So this was an amazing like striking pitch, but it just gets crushed when people swing at it and actually like, put it into play. Good called strike rate, so he snuck it in a decent amount, but questionable. Change up, that's interesting. I actually expected this to be way higher, but this is the mix-up that he tried to throw in to keep people off the cutter as much. When this works, it's really nice, but this isn't good enough. Slider, oh yeah, this worked really well for him. Kind of zoom back in there. Did he use this against just lefties? Yeah, it was his main source against lefties. Righties, he would just go with the change. Yeah, that makes sense. And then four-seamer is, I mean, he would just try and mix this in with the cutter. Try and surprise guys again. 29% called strike rate is actually kind of good. But you guys can see, like, this isn't too far off, but, I mean, it should be a little bit better ERA. The whip should be worse, though, I think. I think he's not going to get better. He's going to get worse. Like, this isn't going to improve. This is... the velocity is going to go down, and it's going to be more difficult. Wow, that's a difference in ERA. Yeah, no, I'm seeing a worse season, so... I'm going to say this. Home runs will be an issue still. And I'm just going to leave that projection of starts and innings. Because it's very weird with starts and innings with him, yeah. Okay. Rasmussen. Rasmussen is a weird animal. Oh, you know what? There's someone we skipped over because he has Tommy John that I'm actually very curious about very quickly. I want to see, because I remember being high on him, and I kind of I'm wondering if, like, my assessment from this time last year, if with the new eyes that I have now, would I've made the same assessment? Like, let's just look at 2020 alone before we look at 2021. Oh my god. Sometimes I get stuck in this loop and it's my fault. Yeah, okay, now it's good. So, in 2020, super high strike percentage, and this is an elite slider, right? Only 190 batting average allowed, and then great, only 109. I should have expected this to come down 138 BABIP on the fastball. Change up. I mean, this is all amazing stuff. Great swing. This is why I was so high on him. Like, understood. Now 2021, this, so we can kind of see here. Strike rate went down and batting average allowed went up. Tells me worst command of the slider. Fastball got crushed. I mean, I didn't expect a 400 BABIP. How could I? But I could have said not a 138. Changeup got crushed. Jesus. Everything just got worse. It was such an exceptional season. Everything was sub 200 batting average allowed. Yeah, I should have been more conservative on this. I mean, this is a lesson to learn. Like, it's so frustrating because on one side, in no way, no world should I be predicting, based on everything we've seen here, that the changeup turns into this bad of a pitch, right? Look at these batting average allowed, right? The lowest strike rate since 2018, but pretty much the same. But this bad, getting worse. No reason I should expect that. Changeup, swing strike rate went down. Slider, should not expect a 232. Should be right around 200, right? That's what he did. Strike rate went down too. Should not expect that. Fastball, still like, do not expect this, but a 250, 336. That's not what I expected. So I should have probably put him at like 22 instead of what I put him at like 14 or something. That's what I would have done. I still would have been wrong, but I mean, I'm not going to say like, oh, I should have put him at 40. Oh yeah, the velocity dip too. Good call. Very good call. Hey, what's up, Big? Yeah, this is pitcherless.com, man. It's a wonderful place. I'm telling you right now. This is a really great article by Crystal O'Keefe. It's her first article. We have a ton of these. We have baseball and fantasy baseball, the rankings that you'd want. And of course, our, player pages are stupid cool. When do I start factoring in age? Great question. When they're super old. And I mean, it's like a question of like the hump to me of, if they're younger, I'm going to expect development. If they're kind of like middling, I'm just going to kind of expect the plateau. And then on the old side, I generally expect some degradation. Different guys. Yarbrough isn't necessarily old, but he's not young. And I think someone with his talent, 30 hits differently for him than say someone like, I don't know, who is 30 right now pitching. But I think that a lot of times it's plateau. For his slower stuff, I think it's just going to get worse. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Anyway, back to Rasmussen. High strike percentage and low batting average allowed, and it was just fastballs. Not a strikeout guy, which I actually think is misleading, because when he started, it was just a handful, right? And it was maddening. I didn't know, like, look at this schedule. There's no way I would ever start him. This is crazy. Boston, Toronto, Houston. And what does he do? 100 run, 0-2-0. With few strikeouts. Like, this did not feel right. K percentages. Look at these. These are bad. But he just didn't walk anybody. BABIPs are kind of, whatever here, but there. It does not allow home runs. I will move my stupid head. Let's see. 1 home run. Left on base rates are super high, of course. It's just, what is going on here, right? This John Gant, that's Drew Rasmussen. But yeah, right. Is it Gant? Does that combine with workload? So workload is a weird thing where I think we consider it wrong. If you have a history of it and you've showcased that you can handle it, doesn't matter your age, you just kind of keep doing it. There's essentially guys who are trained and like know their body is able to take it, right? Sure, eventually it's going to degrade, but I believe more in workload the more I see it, and like age doesn't matter as much to me. So, I mean, age with injury is one thing, but like there's a weird balance between a guy like Scherzer, we're saying, oh, he's injured a lot, but then again, he still throws 775 innings or something, right? Because then he would normally pitch 200 or something like that. So It's you know, it's a give or take there. All right. So the Rasmussen, the slider is a good shape, but it's a low strike percentage, and this is why he doesn't really get good strikeouts. So yeah, sure. I think that ERA is gonna be higher. I think the ERA is higher than this. Yeah, let's go with that. And yeah, this is a weird. We don't know the inning stuff. I'm just gonna leave that. That's fine with me. Patino. There isn't enough in the tank with Rasmussen. Well, the thing is, it's a game of attrition, or not attrition of I don't want to say evolution, but you have 10 pitchers, okay? And if you work all of them hard, you'll find that there'll probably be one or two of them that can be a 200 inning guy because they need to get pushed hard enough to weed out the ones that can't handle it. However, what we're doing now is instead of trying to find the guys that are the 200 inning pitched guys, we're trying to find 5 that can go 180. And then we're dealing that differently. So eventually we'll have 5 that can go 180 instead of 2 that can go 200, right? What's up, Spore? Good to see you, man. Thanks so much for subbing again. You're the best. Yeah, I'm working hard, and we got a month to go. If you want to do a fireside before the month, by all means, man. We haven't done one in ages. I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know. Doing projections and stuff is like, I'm doing all this stuff, then I'm gonna look it over again and be like, what am I doing? But anyway, so Patino, let's talk about him. So fastball, it was with Patino is kind of weird. We kind of thought for a while that the slider, which I think we have a gif of, like this is going to be the pitch. Like this thing, it's not a good representation. This is a floater. But I remember seeing him in the not the Fall Stars, but the Futures game, and it was just super wicked. And I thought, oh man, this is an elite breaking ball, whatever. But 16% swing strike rate on it. The low strike rate is really the problem. For Patino's slider, you can't really depend on it. Now the fastball though, you know, just under 70% strike rate. 229 batting average allowed. So he's going through with four seamers. Sliders are hoping to be like that strikeout pitch. Actually, we can kind of see. Yeah, he's leaning on it with 2 strikes, more so than the others, right? I mean, he tries to do maybe an early one, doesn't do it much when behind. He's going to the heater, and then can keep in mind, by the way, guys, you see this 24%. That's relative to the number. So 28% here is over 2 times more than the slider at 24% because of the usage, right? When behind, yeah, he's not really using. This stuff is early surprise, which is what we expect. Changeup, sometimes he tries to surprise with this, but it's more early stuff. Good to see you, Taiku. Thanks for coming back. All right. Then we've got. So the question here is, okay, does the slider take a step forward? I hope it does. Was it much different in 2020? Not really. I mean, it was very limited then. We didn't see much of him. Fastball velocity, still great. How are the Rays going to use him? Kluber's in here too. 16 actually 112 is fine. This is all fine. I think this should be higher though. Like I don't see him as a 22% strikeout guy in the future. I don't see him as a 24. 25. I mean, it's just about how much do we believe in the development of the slider. Yeah, right. Yeah, that is true. I'm gonna give him a 20. Just up it up a little bit. But for the rest of this stuff, I'm just gonna kind of leave it. And then we're good with the Rays. What's up, Big B? Thank you so much for the follow, man. All right, the Rangers are a mess. I know I don't have the free agent stuff yet. I'm gonna, if you're just tuning in now, it's gonna be later on today. I'm gonna come back around like 6 o'clock or something tonight to handle all of the new free agent stuff. Hopefully, I have an updated spreadsheet for that. I mean, Gray is going to be someone I'm super excited to see what happens to Gray. The thing is, though, correct me if I'm wrong. We all know the Rockies, we don't really hold to the highest standard as far as front office influence and analytics and all this kind of stuff, right? And management. However, if we want to talk about the team directly above them, right? So the Rockies are 30th. Who is 29th? Is it the Rangers? I wouldn't put them in like the top 10 or top 15, right? So I wonder how much change we're going to see in Texas. I do like the fact that the Texas, as far as like an organization, have done some really smart things of investing in very inexpensive players that have a ceiling that they could deal for. Kyle Gibson is a good example. They went after Shelby Miller, taking a chance on that. There was a season or two ago that they did that. So we'll see. Oh, Lance Lynn. Yeah. Great call. Right. That's who else we were thinking. Yeah. So it's like they do that. They recognize like, okay, this guy's actually could be good and we'll go. I don't know. But then once they bring them in, are they actually tweaking or doing things or saying, hey, cool. We know that you have an amazing changeup. You're not throwing enough. We want you to do that more or stuff like that. So, for example, Spencer Howard, like, oh, cool, change of scenery. Maybe he'll stop throwing. Oh, nope. Oh, he's still throwing all fastballs. Okay. It was just one of those things. So this is going to be a weird one. We already have John Gray and who else assigned over here to the Rangers. So John Gray, is that it? Did they only sign John Gray? I guess so. So our projection system is saying that Colby Allard is the one that's in long relief. I mean, this all looks fine. Like, the amount of starts, okay. Spencer Howard, we should probably project better than 5.33 at this point, but maybe not. Oh, nice. What's up, PJ? Good to see you back, man. Hope you enjoyed the Miami stuff. What contention do you have? I'm sure you have some. That's the fun part of this. I really wanted the Angels to get Gray. I mean, we all want Gray to stay healthy, though, AOC. So, we'll see. Regarding Trevor Rogers, I think you can throw out the final month that he came back from injury. Well, it was the injury and it was also the bereavement list, right? Like, he was going through some mental stuff. You can throw it out, but you can't also. You know? There was an inhibition, and it's not always a guarantee that the inhibition goes away. I'm finding myself more interested in Rogers, though, than I thought I would be. Yeah, he's Sport. He went and watched the stream for when I went over Miami. Yeah, what was the end projection for Rogers? Yeah, this is great. Like, I mean, the question is the whip, but Can he bring down the walk rate, essentially? Like, the fastball is, I think, underrated by people. Slider needs to get more strikes, but the changeup is a whiff pitch. So, as long as the fastball keeps doing damage, then we're great. Oh yeah, Eliezer. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of this. Like, I'm not going after Eliezer whatsoever. Right? I'd rather take a chance on Luzardo because I think there's something of like, this is why projections are weird. This looks like, oh, they're the same thing. And like, why wouldn't you? Like, no, this is a projection, which is the full 162 games. But with Luzardo, at least, you know, it's about, is he going to be the guy in September or not? We can kind of see like the first week or two how that's going to play out better than Eliezer. So we'll see. Oh, he's better than that. Oh, I don't know, actually, if that's true. Constantly hurt is part of the problem then, like, right? Nah, I don't care about 2020 with Eliezer. I don't know. 20, like, Eliezer's slider is really good, but the fastball is still going to be a problem, and the changeup isn't a thing that I want to believe in. But anyway, I need to move, guys. Dane Dunning. This is the easy one because I know he's going to actually be in the rotation. The others, I mean, I might just skip. I really don't care about these. Taylor Hearn actually maybe is a little bit better, but I'm just going to trust their judgment with all of these. You know what? We're done here with those. Like, maybe worse on AJ Alexi. You know? I'm just gonna trust their projection on it that they did. So you're talking about 20 on those 25 innings in 2020, not 21. Oh, he was overdrafted based on those 25 innings in 2020, overdrafted in 2021. I think I gotcha. Marlon's so loaded with pitching, any struggling starter could end up in the bullpen. It's true. I think that they are leaning on Luzardo a bit, and then eventually Edward Cabrera comes up, but we'll see. Dane Dunning. So if you remember 2020, the slider was all the rage because, oh man, 21% swing strike rate, that really fueled the strikeout rate. But the strike rate was so low and the batting average allowed was so low. And what do you know? It regressed back. This isn't, I mean, this is abnormal. But this seems about right, and like the strike rate is still low. So this is a problem. The fastball was also, hey, this is really good. 25% strike rate, 31% C-STIP. And actually, that's still really good. This is a really high called strike rate. It got burned more, though. I mean, threw it more in the zone, and because of that, you know, the called strike rate went up, but when they swung, they did damage. Now, the other stuff, is there anything here for us to get excited about? This is good. And this isn't. That's not good. But strike rate's high, called strike. CSW is not the worst. But these are good metrics. Really nice O-swing. Actually, let's see. All right, so we did against the lefties. Did lefties hit home runs off? They did a little. Yeah, they did well off of it. Bacon was 370. My gosh. Yeah, not enough. I want like a 60% on changeups for grounders, because that means it's really like the 35% fly ball rate is kind of saying that it's doing this a lot. And maybe honestly, I kind of would want the zone rate to go down. And really lean more on the O swing doing well. What did you do? Paul, what did you do? Oh man. Oh, Martin Space. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. But hopefully you're cool. Thanks for No, Paul, sorry, Paul the Martin I meant. But that was Martin, a different Martin Space 04, but Paul the Martin, that wasn't you. I'm just all confused, guys. So with Dane Dunning, what do they put down? 330. Yeah, this is cool with me. Yep, this is a good one too. I'm not even. They did great with Texas. Wonderful. I'm not getting rid of one. All right, we're gonna go to Jose Barrios here. As I hear Eno shout, Barrios is not a Toby from afar. Oh, they are Aiden Hall and Frank Bruni. Two guys I've been working with for a year on staff to create projections, as we also are going into the, fingers crossed, we're going to have a DFS product by the start of the year. That's going to be no extra cost if you get PL Plus. Like, literally is just going to be, hey, here's DraftKings and FanDuel dollars, and here's our projected dollar for the day, which is also really helpful for fantasy. And we'll have a daily fantasy, like, streaming thing that I'm going to yell at called PL Bot. So they generated these projections for 2022, and I'm just kind of going through and verifying this stuff. Because I feel like if we have projections on the site that are starting pitchers, like, I need to be the one that gives a seal of approval of it, right? I can't just say, like, oh, I don't agree with our site's starting pitcher projection. That's like, well, that's not right. Oh, you love the Exo Bacon? Well, okay, is it Bacon or Wobacon? Which one do you like more? Have you said Barrios is a Toby? My God, that's awful, Nick. Ha! I've said that he is the most Toby of non-Tobys. Like he's the Toby of, oh, what was it? I had a very specific way of saying it. He's like the premium Toby. Like, he's never going to be, my joke is that he's always going to have a 3.5 to 3.8 ERA. You know, he's never going to be a sub-3 ERA pitcher. Right? And there are going to be times when you're just like, oh, Jose Barrios, like, are you actually that good? And then you're like, all right, yeah, he is. He's fine. He's not a Toby. Like, how dare I? No, I would never actually say, like, he is a Toby. But, you know, I think took one, you know, heard me say something along those lines once. And so he started heckling me at the First Pitch Arizona during the live podcast, shouting, Barrios is not a Toby. I'm like, he's not. I know. He's not. He's not a Toby. I'm just... Whoa, Bacon, that's what's up. I'm with you, gamers. A Toby Plus, yeah. I mean, you know this. This is very much of our discussion about, like, he's not, you're never going to drop him. Yeah. Oh, right. But he's also someone that I think every year we hear people saying, this is the year for Jose Barrios, and it just never quite gets there. I mean, it was an improvement last year, but not. The joke the entire year is that he will not end the season under a 3.5. And guess what? Jose Barrios had a 3.53. This was a major improvement. So we're going to talk about this. Let's do it. Strike rate, awesome on the fastball. And this has actually been the story for a while. He does throw a four-seamer and sinker. I'm upset we don't separate it out. Changing, of course. But this was great. I did a really good job getting strikes and 3.5, 2.5. Not amazing. And I would say, you know, there's something about this heater that is inconsistent enough and too hittable. Like, these are not good metrics. When I say this, I would say, honestly, if I'm looking at like a stud pitcher or something, I want this like much lower. But it's okay. It's all right. We'll be fine with this, you know? Especially considering that he doesn't have, at least I don't think, this is an elite breaking ball. It's good. 62% is not elite, though. 65, 66 going up there is. Swing strike rate is just 15%. He throws 30% of the time. He gets high CSW on it. Good amount of called strikes. It keeps people off balance. Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. 200 batting average allowed was a good, thank you. Wonderful. I'll take that. But that's it. And then changeup is so inconsistent. Yes, this is nice, but you don't know if it's going to be there. And this hasn't changed. I'm still kind of like waiting. Like, this is great. And actually, in some ways, I wonder if that's part of the reason why the whip went down, because all of a sudden you'll have fewer hits on the changeup. Holly Flax. Yeah, right. Yeah, we always discuss. Yeah. By the way, last Marlins comment is so depressing that Sandy is going in the third and fourth now. I will never get him. Well, that's what happens every year, though. You know, we fall in love with guys, and then, you know, they graduate, and then you move on to the next one. I keep getting all these like PR emails, and I don't care. I don't care. Don't do this. Emails are important. All right. Let's see. So this is the question I have about Barrios is I personally expect a little bit of regression because I think the changeup is going to be a little worse, not to mention I am curious, how actually did he perform? Like, before we even look at it, how much weight should we be putting at his performance in Toronto after the trade? I'm not really going to sway either way. If it's really bad or really good, I'm not going to change much. But I think we can all agree that being in Minnesota, totally different than being in Toronto. You will get more wins. You know, probably not 12 and 9, probably something close to like 13, 14. But you will have a higher ERA. You will allow more home runs, right? And I think that we can both agree with that. So, I mean, is it even worthwhile to see like what the difference was? That's a good question. I'm going to assume yes. It was essentially the same. That's funny. I mean, that's why I do this. By the way, the walk rate went way down from 2020, which is great. But it's kind of interesting because the strike rates didn't change much. Oh, it did on the fastball. This was the problem for the walk rate, by the way. That's it. So if we believe this, which I kind of do more than that. Home run rates is really the question I have. So, okay. 24. Homer per 9, 104, 14%. 1.2, 11%. Yep, you're totally right, Spore. Didn't really change there. That's cool. Is he playing East teams? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 though in 12 games. That's disproportionate. That's 25% of his starts. Do we expect more than 25% of his starts to be AL East? Yeah, right? We do. I think we do. Oh yeah, right. I could just do partial seasons. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that'd be about it, and we expect more than that. Yeah. So it's interesting. We have him as this. As far as whip goes, I expected a degradation, maybe not necessarily 119, but I would say something like that is fine. This is honestly right to me. This seems right. This seems right. Yeah, I think this is it. I'm just gonna move on. Yes, I'm gonna go through. We're gonna spend an entire stream of me double checking, and then also doing win totals. We did get the projection for win totals, but I'm gonna do those. Yeah. And by the way, yeah, you're totally right. Doing the partial season thing. My God, what am I doing wrong? Thanks for that. Okay, so Hyunjin Ryu. Oh boy, Ryu. Okay, so this was a season. That's all I'm gonna say. This was a season. All right, change up was just not as good. 25% CSW, so it got hit more. So essentially, when you see the same strike rate, what you're seeing is when we see strike rates, we want these to be amplified. Like you see a strike rate go up, you want it to be in CSW going up. If the CSW goes down and strike rate stays the same, that's not good. That essentially means more balls in play, which often mean that they're hitting it more often, right? Actually, even more so. Don't even look at CSW. Look at swing strike rate or not, right? It's called strike rate stayed the same. The zone rate stayed the same. It just meant that they swung and they made more contact. That's bad. And did they make more contact and did more things? Hey, well, look at that. That's a 60-point jump. So that's a problem. Ground ball rate. Oh, Lord. I mean, it's just better contact all around. Essentially, the changeup just got worse. The sharp overreaction. Well, that's suggesting that the reaction so far to Ryu is unjust. We'll talk about that. We'll see if it is or not. So let's look at the cutter now. The cutter got hit harder, right? 203, 249. This was actually very similar to his 2019 cutter. Pretty much the same stuff here. Got batted around a bit. This is not good, by the way. This stuff isn't, it's not really that great of a pitch. You know, 64% is fine. I mean, he's trying to do this to mix in with the fastball. So let's look at the fastball a bit. He threw it so much more in the zone, and I think that's because he didn't have as much confidence in the changeup. That's my guess there. To kind of see if there's a dramatic strike rate elsewhere. There isn't. Interesting. I mean, curveball got hit harder too. Strike rate did go up though. Maybe that's part of the reason. Like he threw this much more in the zone, which means guys probably swung more. No. Interesting. Huh. Contact rate was the same. Z contact did go up. O contact. Oh, I see. This is the. That's really good. So when they swung out of the zone, they missed more. But when they swung in the zone, they did better. And the zone rate went up, so like it went that way. So if you threw out of the zone less and had more success with that when he did, right? So then so hold on. Yeah, fly ball rate went way up. There you go. Yeah, great call, Paul. The Martin. Zone rate went way up, which meant they attacked it more, I assume. We don't have a Z swing here. We should have a Z swing here. I think we do in the new one. Called strike rate went way up. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, he's just throwing a lot more fastballs in the zone, and then you got a lot higher called strike rate. They called for this, but because of it, he got hit harder, I think, with, let's see, 12 home runs. I mean, versus 400, but 7 and 12. So a lot more home runs. And that's the question is, do we think that the home runs are going to be like this? So all of this being said from Ryu, okay, I think the changeup got noticeably worse. I think that's really where the crux of everything comes from. Fewer grounders with it. I think it forced him to do more with his fastball, which is not great. You're gonna see the high CSWs, but he gets hit too hard, and that's not home run stuff. This is just overall hits, right? Injury has been a constant thing with Ryu. I think 2019, 2020 was great for injury with Ryu, but it used to be the joke that he'd look in for the sign and then sprain his neck, right? So, yeah, it's just the stuff overall does not speak like elite like it used to be for him. And the way that something that I'm personally doing more of, I think this year is I tried to be conservative last year of some older guys and say, you know what? No, these guys are going to rebound. There is a discount on this pitcher, and we're not, we are leaning into that discount too much, like Patrick Corbin or, and then at the same time, like a steady guy like Kyle Hendricks or Zach Greinke or Hyunjin Ryu last year. I was like, yeah, you know what? We should be totally fine with those things. And they kind of, without the same ceiling as the other fun ones that I wanted to go for. And that burned me. And I've certainly, I'm not going to say that being burned after 2020 is the way that I should be shifted. But it does certainly make me think like, it's not as fun. You know? Yeah, no, I agree with you, Spore. You know, it's always the question is like, okay, this is what he did last year. Is that going to change? Oftentimes things do. The rebounds fluctuates, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's hard to, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult to piece together. He did really well. Does that mean he's going to do well again? He was really bad. Does that mean he's going to do really bad again? It's the hardest question we have. It's most convincing to say like, hey, he just did this. That is the most believable thing, right? That makes the most sense internally to us. You know, it's just, but right, that's not, you know, as much truth as we want it to be. It's gonna be his age 35 season in Toronto. The home run problem, 128 last year, 14% home run fly ball rate. I'm not totally convinced that that's going away. I don't think that's just a complete Toronto thing because, you know, here you go. He was in Toronto in 2020. Okay, so what do we have him at? This isn't terrible. I think this number is saying that he could be like a 3.3 ERA on the same balance that he could be a 4.2 or whatever, 4.3. I don't know if I buy that. I probably would make this a 3.9. You know? Well, yeah. Take that projection, but I'm saying, is this the projection we want to? Are you saying you take like the accuracy of the projection, or are you saying if this is what we project him to be, you will take it? You know, I'm in the thing of like I'm trying to get the right one. Yeah, I got you, Spore. I'm probably gonna lower this to 3.9. But otherwise, it's fine. I'll just go with it and call it a day. All right, Strippling. I'm just gonna approve. I mean, he's the one. I already said that Nate Pearson I'm not doing because Gaussman comes in and takes over. So it's gonna be those four. And there honestly might be someone else that I'm gonna have to do this later. I've talked about Strip before. Maybe not a 4.75 for Stripling. I think that's maybe too harsh. But the problem with Stripling is the secondary stuff is he's not tossing 173. That's a good point, actually. It was 169 this past year. He did have that small injury. That was also 31 starts to get to 179. If I'm saying he's a 3.9, I'm saying he's a little more inefficient. I'm saying this is the amount of starts. He did 31 to get to 173 last year. So I'm saying it's going to be 28. I'm kind of being similar. I'll pull him down to 168. That seems fair. Okay. I'm only projecting 5 per team for now, but I've got this beautiful buddy, which is the ones that are not here that I do need to add on to. Plus, Rick Graham. Here, I got to do this. Don't I? Get rid of that stupid shadow. Rick Graham is doing the relievers, and I know that there's going to be some overlap, so I'm going to kind of see what he does for his side. And then if there's still someone missing. So I will put in like Nate Pearson if I need to later. I think he's going to be assessed by Rick is my point. In NFBC, I've got this ready because this is a fun reference tool. I'm going to do just December though, so it's less draft champion stuff. So Ryu. I mean, yeah, I would rather have Ryu than Joe Ryan. Right? But I would rather chase, I think, Scooble. It's pretty close, honestly. I think there's a lot of growth potential with Scooble. This is obviously a safer play. I would rather have Urquidy, though. I would rather have Clevenger. This is going to be interesting. Soroka, we don't expect. Yeah, and back until like July. Yeah, I love Urquidy. I give him a good one, I think. 374, 112, right? It's pretty dang good. Fewer innings. But I mean, I think a really important point to make, Spore, is like this in a 15-teamer means something way different than it does a 12-teamer, right? Big gap between those two things. Because this is teetering the line of what you want to do in a 12-teamer. While 15-teamer, I'm like, I get this. If I had a guy that gives me a 3.9 ERA through the year, I'd be a little. I wouldn't settle for that. I think. I think that it's. I think that settles too much. You have to shoot for more. Like, to win a league, a 12-teamer, like you can't settle on a 3.9 ERA guy, I think. Yeah, it is bordering, I think, PJ. Yeah, I know. We gotta, yeah. I know you don't like agreeing to disagree. But that's one thing I think we inherently just, we've done a good job of just saying we inherently disagree about that, and we're gonna move on. It's just something we gotta accept as good friends. Board bet. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Ross Strippling. I want to talk about this really quickly because I'm pushing up to when I have a hard exit here around 12:15. Yeah, 12:15 is pretty much a hard stop. So let's just look at this for a second. Over the years, when we got excited about Stripling, which I think was like 2018, right? I'm trying to remember this. Yeah, like this was like, oh man, Stripling, got to get more opportunities for him. 2018, 2019, right? So, what was he doing well? What was his ticket? Sliders getting strikes. That was good. Curveballs were excellent performances. Good strike rates on them. Nice, beautiful CSWs. The changeup was not great. And I was like, hey, stop doing that. This improved. Like, this is actually a big deal. 60%, 61, all of a sudden to 66 and dropping the batting average allowed on it. CSWs went way up. More called strikes, more in the zone. Like, this was really nice in 2020. Then fell back down this past year. Strike rate was still up. Batting average allowed is actually really good. This is because of this, though. The BABIP, right? 296, which is understandable. Like, look at this. This is actually really nice. 178 batting average allowed with 296 BABIP is essentially telling you high 2 strike rate, right? Doing super well, probably against lefties. I mean, versus righties versus. Wow, look at that. No, I'm sorry. I'm being really dumb. I thought this was usage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I was being really. I thought for whatever reason right here was usage, and it's not. So let's see. So, oh, cool. I'll take a look at that. DBs. Thanks. Dylan Cease wasn't being cut because people believed in more. It was one of those feelings of like he was volatile, right? It's there's also more to be said about the strikeout rates of Cease too. But yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't happy at the end. Like if I went the full year, it was like a 4 ERA or something like that, right? That wasn't good. I wasn't like excited about that. And not to mention, Cease was moved up and down. Like there were people that dropped Cease and stuff. So yeah, the 391 was kind of like, all right, I guess we're going to accept this because, I mean, what was the whip too? I'm actually curious if I think it was good, maybe not. But it was this like constant battle. Like, are we okay with the strikeout rates? And is this going to change? Yeah, are we going to get more consistent where it's not a 4 ERA, right? 125, that's not, you know, that's like these days. It used to be 130 is like the limit. Like 125 is becoming like the limit. Yeah, 32% K rate. That was the reason that we were like suffering through it a bit. You know, we're expecting Cease this year to be better than that. That's why he's going where he is. I hope he does. It's just development gotta come. Anyway, hey, what's up, Mike Brooks? Good to see you. All right, so with Strippling, fastball got better, I guess. Imagine. Oh, this is against lefties. Stop. This is not enough. To me, I'll look at the splits like you suggested a bit more. Actually, you know what? Do I have? Oh, right. He was jumping around between starter and reliever. And I remember this. Where's the Yankee game? This. So this was the game where all of a sudden changeup was working, slider was working. Okay? He got whiffs on this finally. This is when he barked at his teammate for the error, right? A third. Because he was so emotional about this. Because like it was finally clicking. You know, keep in mind, like the other starts, sure he had these, but like these aren't going. These aren't doing amazing things, right? It's still not there. And all of a sudden, he had that one game. Oh, man, he's got 18 whiffs. He's got a King Cole. You know, it's there. Next start, oh, no. I was worried. Like, this is worse. You know, I can't say, please get your change curve slider back, right? Next start after that, it's still teetering. Like, I think he's not really that everything. It's, you know, but it's working, you know? Like this time at least he got curveballs for strikes. And then, okay, finally it caught up to him, right? This wasn't a start. It was a start, yeah. But I think he got hurt? No, he didn't. He just got pulled because he allowed 600 runs. Went back. That's so dumb, Nick. It's the worst thing you've read all year. Yeah, I don't know if I buy this tale of Stripling. Like, I feel like this was all teetering on the edge. Sorry, all said and done. A 475 is not fair. So I'm going to bring this stuff down. But I don't really buy it. I'll say that. Yeah, I don't think the stuff was actually as good as he was getting out of it. I don't know if it's tipping pitches. Like, I think game to game, like the slider, curveball, changeup are still not quite there. The changeup had insane results, but I don't think the 146 BABIP is going to stick. And look at this. Oh my God. Like, fly ball heavy, and this is weird for a changeup. Okay. I mean, it's tipping pitches, but it's still, I'm still weirded out by this. So anyway, I'm gonna do that. I'm bringing him down 4-4, 1-3-1. Oh, do I have to do Strasburg? Is Strasburg like, what is? Anyone have a link about Strasburg's health as I do Patrick Corbin? Like, I think he's out until the end of next year, right? This is, I gotta kind of read this one. We'll talk about these. Who is it inside of this? Yeah, it is these. Oh God. I don't want to talk about Josh Rogers. All right, I guess I have to. What? Was it this past year that I could have sworn like he was out until the end of next year or something? Wild. Okay. So I guess we gotta discuss Strasburg. Thanks, Spore. So yeah, hey, what's up, Patrick Corbin? You want to know something really funny, guys? His fastball velocity peaked. And it was terrible. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, maybe it wasn't, right? The strike rates are still down for the slider. Swing strike rates are there. He's getting, it's crazy. I remember freaking out. Like, what am I supposed to do? The whiffs are, he has 14 whiffs on the slider. He's throwing 93.3. And what does he do? He allows 6 earned runs. I just don't understand this. This is just not what happens. You get 14, you have a 30% swings, sorry, a 26 on your slider. You get 14 whiffs. You throw it 55% of the time. You're throwing like the peak velocity. Doesn't matter. We're on the final team, but then I gotta, but this is, you know, this mountain needs to be climbed. So that's gonna be tonight. But yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, the CSW marks on the slider are way down, right? Like this used to be this, and it's this, but it's still great. Like, yeah, the so for example, I already got rid of these, but for the most part, I mean, there's some in here that I'm just like, get out of here, Arrieta and Brett Anderson and so on. But for example, Verlander and Syndergaard, fine. I don't know what the situations these guys. This needs to be done something. This needs something. Nope. Like there's a decent amount of these that we can remove, but there's a good handful like of this. You know, that is a full stream, if not more. Yeah, I just don't know what the heck to do with Patrick Corbin. I'll say this: it's not gonna be a 577 and a 145, right? There was hope at the end. Oh yeah, he went to Coors in his final start of the year and has like one of his best starts, right? And then in Cincinnati in the bandbox. It's amazing. So spin to win. Yeah, maybe it was something of that. Unfortunately, we didn't have spin rates and stuff we can use. What was a Dennis? Oh, a Dennis. A Dennis is when someone is doing really badly and then all of a sudden does really well for one start and it brings you back in for a second and you go, no, don't do that. Based on the Dennis method from Always Sunny. Inspire hope and then separate entirely. There's also Dennis from 30 Rock that would do the same thing. So it's a Dennis. But yeah, so all right. So I'm gonna do this. He's going to get his innings. We know that. 4.89. I'll give you a 4.52. A little nicer. I'll give you a 1.33. Okay. I think this is gonna be higher though. What was he this past year? 19. Oh my god. Come on. Corbin. Come on. It was 27.30 in the past. I'm going to say 21 is actually not the worst projection. Can you think he improves? Because he had signs of hope. Like, I guess what I'm getting at is there's volatility in the season itself. Like, he showed the ability to do it. Right? It's not... There's a difference between a guy that is fluctuating between great and bad the entire way through and someone that is just kind of just bad, right? Like you see a 19% strikeout rate and you think, oh, they're just always going 4 and 3 strikeouts or so. But you can actually see a good amount of games, or at least 7 strikeouts across the season for Corbin. He was just also really bad at times, right? So this was a year where the bad, like it was like a 60-40 or something of like bad to good. And I'm saying maybe it turns into like a 50-50 or like a 60-40 the other way. Like that's actually really close. So, and then I'm not going to ignore the fact that like Patrick Corbin was one of the best pitchers out there. And there's, you know, we only really seen like we've seen like a season and a third of him not doing that, right? But you know what I mean? I'm not going to project a guy for like having a 5.5 that has the potential of Patrick Corbin. This is not something you draft though, right? I mean, this is essentially like, don't do it. Just don't do it. 21. I'm just going to leave it. Fine. Whatever. Don't care. We know this is like a weird thing. And we're just going to move on. You know? He needs to lower all of his year right now. That's a good point. Probably 3rd of July. End of July. Okay. So as far as Steven Strasburg, I've got 10 minutes. Strasburg is interesting. In many ways. We don't expect the velocity to return, right? I gotta remember everything about the story of Strasburg. I've just not thought about him. I mean, yeah, I was throwing this, then had the pinky thing at the end of 2019, came back in 2020, did like nothing. And then thoracic this year after what was like, yeah, nothing. I think Pearson does too, honestly, or at the very least like a stud reliever. So that's why I didn't even do it. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Corbin needs an opener. That's fascinating. Yeah, lotto ticket sounds great. I mean, what is even the yeah, 328. Sure. I mean, honestly, Mclanahan is really good value here. Same with Eric Lauer. These are interesting guys I think can help. Patino should be underneath. Greinke should be underneath. Tyone probably underneath. I just feel so bad for him. But anyway, okay. I think he's vastly underrated. What would I put Mclanahan at? 419, 124. But I think there's certainly a lot of potential for more than that. All right. So with Strasburg, wow, it's actually kind of funny. They're like back to back. I'm just gonna. This is aggressive. I don't even know what to do. I'm just gonna leave it and call it a day. I'm gonna bring this down though. So I'm gonna say 5 fewer starts, which is, let's say it's like 5.5 per. That's 25, about 27 innings fewer, so 119. Let's go with that. Actually, I'll give him a nice round 120. 120 over 16 is what? Okay, no. Hold on. 105? No. 92. No. All right, 575. There we go. This seems better. All right, Josiah Gray. Oh, I love Josiah Gray and I hate Josiah Gray at the same time. So, I'm wondering what the strike rates are. That's good, but this is the question, is these two. 61 and 66. Okay. So Josiah Gray's command is more fluctuating than I want it to be. I watched the better start. I watched this with you guys against Colorado, I think. No, against Miami. And the numbers are great, but the end result is great. But watching it, there was a lot of stress of like he's not putting the pitches where he wants to. Command was annoying, to say the least. I should probably watch this one again. Yeah, but I disagree though, PJ, because that's a projection, and drafting is different than just, you're not sticking him in your lineup. It's not a best ball league. You're drafting, like a projection is a best ball, you know, but you're drafting with a different intent of how you're going to manage it. So if it's a lottery ticket and the ticket is that the projection isn't right, you know? No, I don't. Yeah. We still only expect him to play 92, but it's not. You get it. And look, if he's the last round and he gives me 92 great innings or whatever, then it's not. Then like, great, I got some at work, you know? I'm saying like it could be a scenario where he goes 0 innings. There's also a scenario where he just pitches 150, 160, you know? Yeah, we're saying it's a lotto ticket. I mean, he's not right now at this. He's literally not getting drafted in 12 teamers because 12 teamers goes to about 280. So anyway, Josiah Gray, curveball, not a high enough strike percentage, but tons of whiffs. Like amazing CSW on it, crazy, and like guys don't hit it. Same with a slider. Slider I think is better than the curveball. Amazing batting average allowed. This is great. I mean, this actually could get better next year, honestly. But gets strikes with it, right? And he gets them by swings, which is really good. I much prefer the strikes coming from a high swing strike rate. Oftentimes you see this, and it doesn't always match the strike percentage because they're using it in 2-strike counts and out of the zone. But to see this paired with that makes for this. It's great. The real question is, all right, is this going to be enough? High strike percentage with a low CSW essentially telling you that there's a lot in play right now, and that's what happened in play, which isn't good because the command of it is bad. So for Josiah Gray, I do love the fact that he has a situation with the Nationals. He is not this. He had this terrible period of 4 straight starts, and it was rough. It was really rough to endure. I was like, cool, let's just keep going. Oh man, this is bad. All right, Mets. Oh, all right, never mind. We can't start him against Pittsburgh, which stunk because it was Pittsburgh, but it was really bad. And he faced Coors, and we didn't want to start him there either. And we didn't want to start him against the Miami. We lost this one, but that was encouraging. But we didn't have faith for Coors. We're like, oh, this is better. And we probably still aren't going to do Boston. We didn't get that either. Right? So that's the story in my head of Josiah Gray. Lots of potential. Command is a question. So 4.79 I think is worse than it's going to be. I think you're going to see a lot of fluctuation back and forth. I'm going to put him as a 4.26. I'm going to put him as a little bit better than this 1.29. Strikeout rate should be way higher. 25%. I see him like a 26.4. So this is what I see right now. But this is... this has so much more potential than what you're seeing. But there is obviously a possibility. Actually, no, I'm going to give him better than this. But it's, you know, it could still be really rough. And that's that. But I want you guys to be aware of, like, there's a chance that Josiah Gray is just, like, dope this year. If he's able to get the fastball command down. But that's a big if. Last 2, because I got 2 minutes. Sure, these are fine. This is worse, and this is gonna be worse. No. And then Josh Rogers. Rogers. Yeah, Josh Rogers is not this at all. And then Pollack got strikes, and that wasn't very good. The curveball was what saved him, yeah. I don't know if that's always going to be what it is, though. Actually, that's absurdly consistent. Oh, my God. Absurdly consistent. I take that back. Slider is lots of strikes, but that means just because the zone rate, and that's not actually faring that well. The nights he does well is when the curveball shows up in a big way. And if we increase the usage of the curveball, that actually might be good. NL only, I'm with you. But I think this is going to be a like a 4-3-8 or something. The 1-2-9. Actually, 1-3-1. This is going to be higher though, because I think he is going to start for them. So I'm going to give him 24 and 140, because he will also relieve and stuff. Actually, so 155. Like, he's going to be with the team the entire year. And then this is approved, and there you go, guys. We did it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. These are not final. These are my first pass. And then anyway, not as good. Be careful. Fastball changeup. Meh. High five. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Really, it's awesome doing it with you. I'll be back tonight. I don't know when. It's probably gonna be like 6 or maybe 7. But this is what I'm doing tonight. I might actually be. I think I'm gonna do a late stream. It's probably 9 o'clock. So I'll see you guys tonight. Hopefully, it's gonna be chaos, but probably it's like 9 until like midnight or whatever. I don't know. It'll be a late stream tonight. You guys rock. You have trivia. Awesome. You guys rock. Thanks so much for being a part of this. And yeah, Spore, hit me up, all right? We got to do a fireside chat or something. I got some things to show you too. So, can't wait. All right. I'll see you guys. As always, may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.